just whatever you do, don't. Hi, Jen.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good, excellent. I'm trying to adjust here really fast to see if I can. We have back here. I'm Taylor. That's Chandler in the back, and this is Chad.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you as well. Thank you for shooting us a message and agreeing to, inviting us, I should say, to have an interview with you.
Of course. I've heard a lot of great things about you guys. So shout out to Carrie for recommending you guys as well.
Oh yeah.
Excellent. Okay, trying to fit everybody in here. That's good.
I think that looks good.
Oh yeah,
cool.
I'll make sure that we block out
stuffed out. We're gonna.
You can just close in, help block him out.
Yeah, exactly. We got it. We're good.
All right. So you guys introduced yourselves individually. Did you want to give a little backstory about your band?
Yeah, sure. I
We
can
play
take that.
music.
We do. We do just that. Yeah. I mean,
Jack can start.
the band has had many faces and worn many hats. So it originally started as a duet, actually, more or less. It was me, a guitarist, and we went to our good friend Justin Spalding, who became our producer, to go through and to just to see what we can do. Initially starting out, I didn't really know which way to turn, how to find people, how to find members, and how to actually integrate into the music scene, right? So, so my approach to it at the time was like, okay, well, I'll do the if I build it, they will come sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So we went to him. We had a really good experience with tracking a single. We released that. We went back. We did a whole EP, put that out, and off of that, my boy Fred over here actually went to the same producer and heard the material, and his band was dissolving at the time. Shot me a message being like, "Hey, are you looking for members?" And I was like, "Yes, I am." So yeah, from there we just kind of started putting it in the paces, and we assembled a little live crew, and we had some people that we had the changing of the guard here and there, just finding the right people that fit the vision and fit what we were looking for, musically. We landed on to Taylor, who helped shoot a music video with us, and then decided, hey, maybe I can stick around and help these guys make better music.
Two music videos.
Two music videos, actually, yeah.
And there's supposed to be a couple shows that never happened because of COVID. So.
Oh, of course.
They gypped me, and they owe me now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. So and then off of Taylor, our bassist, over the course of COVID, as we were coming out of that, our bassist at the time departed, and we were like, hey, you know what? Let's go steal your brother, who just also happens to be the best bassist slash guitarist in Syracuse. So we performed some theft, and then here we are.
Very cool. Another siblings in the band. I talked to An Easy Death the other night, so.
Oh, nice.
Cool.
Yeah. How is it like being in a band with your brother?
Oh, who's related in that band? Do you remember? Because I don't remember who's
Tim and Corey.
Corey's yeah. Oh yeah. No, to answer your question though, we've actually been in a few projects together. Just happened to be the way that it was. We don't talk about those anymore, but but it's actually great because we're writing music a lot together, as I play drums and sing, and he does guitar and bass and does the production side of things, and obviously does lots of really cool vocals and stuff himself. So we had the perfect pair, if you will, to mesh what our ideas were together. And all we really were looking for from the beginning, even before the other band that we used to be in, was to just be able to, grow and flourish with a group of people who wanted input and could actually take it and not, just want to run things the way that they want it to go. So luckily now, or unfortunately now, that still happens. We just have to yell at Chad and Fred a little bit. But, no, I'm just kidding.
What they don't know is I delete all their parts when they're not listening.
Yeah, he re-records them himself.
Yeah. Just to put them in their place, you know what I mean?
Right.
Humble them. This is what you should say.
That's one.
No, it's a great thing though, and I'm happy that we finally found a group that we all mingle well together, and we're more than just a band. So
Yeah.
it's a great thing. What'd you say?
We're lovers.
No, he said we're lovers. That's great.
Well, it definitely seems like you guys have a good rapport with each other. So that's definitely the most important thing when you're around somebody all the time. And
He's got a gun, so I have to smile.
Oh my God, dude.
better watch out.
It's a squirt.
No, I'm kidding. They're fun.
What instruments does everybody play?
Fred, you go first. What do you do in the
Just for
band?
the band or for everything?
So I play guitar, do backing vocals, and just to set the table here, everybody in this band does vocals. We are we're slowly going to become the queen of metalcore is what's going to happen here.
Nice.
I play drums and I sing as well. Do a little bit of backup stuff with screaming every once in a while. That's what I do. Yeah.
I primarily most of anything I do is I sing, I scream. I mostly at these guys to let them know that just to keep them in line, But yeah. So you can consider me a singer and quality control.
Well, I play bass in the band, and I'm starting to kind of take over the production for the new stuff and use some old material that I kind of just threw in a library and never looked at again. But we're gonna all do vocals, like Fred said, and yeah, outside of the band, I think we all kind of dabble in other stuff too. But for the project in particular, that's what we do.
Yeah.
We're all musically inclined in some weird way.
Yeah.
Never makes sense to us either. That's why we all got stuck together. We just were like, well, this works. I don't know. That sounds cool.
Yeah. I've always thought it's really cool when a drummer can sing too. So like, that's awesome because I would think it would take a lot of concentration to, play the drums by itself. And so being able to do both.
It definitely was something that I always liked to sing. It was never my forefront, if you will, but I had this old band back in the day called the Stacy White Suite. It was an alternative rock group. And we did 3 and 4 part harmonies, and like it was like the whole shebang thing. Like, and that band definitely brought me out a bit of my shell, I think, with singing in front of people. It's always a little bit more comforting in front of the drum set for sure than just with a mic. But Singers Karaoke Club, karaoke bar, I should say. Shout out to them because I've definitely performed quite a few songs since I've been going there, and I feel much more comfortable in front of a microphone because of those guys. So
I mean, it's
great. It's definitely challenging to do both for sure. I mean, you can do anything.
Yeah.
But I'm still learning every day, so only up from here.
Exactly. A little at a time. How did you guys come up with the name A Greater Danger?
Being the last joining member of the band, he decided that.
So initially, when we were, going through and trying to make a project and make a certain soundscape, we tried to. Me and my guitarist at the time, we built out a list of like 20 different names, and we kind of did like a shootout, being like, okay, what's gonna work to define this in a way that's like, we don't want to. I guess the better way to phrase this is that anytime that you look at a name or like you get like an immediate impression, right? So part of the thing that we were aiming for was to try to pick something that felt a little bit more open-ended, So we had, you can look at something that's humanity's last breath, and you can assume, oh, this is going to be a band that's like this is probably going to be a very heavy, a very aggressive band.
Mm-hmm.
But so we tried to pick a name that felt pretty open-ended and could kind of lean in any direction. Yeah. And we did have the added bonus of there's just a lot of puns that you can make with this name, so it works out very well. I don't think I've been in a group chat in my time in this band that hadn't had some kind of play on either something about danger, something dangerous, the danger
Everything's
zone,
dangerous now.
or something has to be greater. It's got to be
Everything's
a greater this, a greater that, a greater the other. So,
The greatest danger.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it was just kind of looking through and picking a vibe that felt right in a way that was going to encapsulate the idea that we can take this any direction we want to go with it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. How did you individually get into music?
Chandler, start. You don't have anything to say.
No, I was kidding.
I just love music.
I would call him out.
Well, my first instrument was the violin for 3 years, and that was like third grade.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. You were young when
Yeah,
that
that was a
happened.
long
Baby
time
boy
ago.
with the violin.
And then from there, I did chorus all the way up until like 7th grade, maybe 6th or 7th grade, something like that. But
You couldn't make it to 8th.
I could, yeah, no, I didn't like it.
He just
honestly.
he couldn't make the cut.
No.
It was the social pressure.
It was the
The boy.
yeah. Probably not far after being in high school. I want to say maybe the 9th or 10th grade was when I picked up my dad's acoustic guitar, I think, and he just kind of
He never played.
he never played it. Like I never once saw him. He's had it for like 50 years or something.
We'll say eons because he's old, and that sounds like
Yeah.
He's kind of like us when we start something musically and then never pick it up again.
I don't know what you're talking about.
What song is not released?
But I think a year
Oh.
or two after like me playing his acoustic around and stuff, he was like, "Hey," so he kind of noticed that I was taking a liking to it and was like, "I'll buy you a guitar and an amp, but you have to keep playing."
You have to get good.
Yeah,
Or I'll sell
Don't
it.
do that. I have to play.
actually use this and play this. So
Is
like,
that why you
alright,
practice so
yeah.
hard now? You're scared you're in the comments and just take all your stuff like, no.
I'm gonna dishonor my father.
It all comes to a head.
But yeah, I mean, I think our whole family is musically inclined. They don't like our sister and our parents don't really keep up with it as much anymore. But our sister played saxophone.
You blew into a trumpet like 4 times.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
4 times.
Like 2 weeks. Yeah, maybe.
I blew into a sax a couple
Yeah,
times.
our
I mean,
dad
hey,
played the bugle, I think, in the Boy Scouts. And my mom is a classical pianist, so it just kind of runs in the family.
Yeah, sounds like it.
No,
yeah. I been playing drums basically my whole life. I think it was like 3rd grade or 2nd grade or something like that. I started out actually playing Afro-Cuban hand drums. I did, in fairness, I did try to join the band when I was in school, but I was too young to even really know about any of it. I just thought like, oh, music sounds cool, whatever that is.
Mm-hmm.
So I legit blew into a saxophone like twice, and I immediately put it down. I said, this isn't my instrument, and I never touched it again. And like, so ever since then, I was like, yeah, this I walked by this classroom, and like I heard these drums going on. It was Afro-Cuban hand drums, and I was like, that's dope, whatever that is. So I basically did that for a little bit. I said, screw regular band, but then we ended up moving school districts, and our parents got a new house when we were in like, I think I was in like 5th grade. And that's when I got introduced to drumsticks on a snare drum. So from there, I went to jazz, I went to orchestra. I was in, I had to audition to be in bands in my like school and stuff. I did marching band, and basically in high school, I decided that I didn't want someone yelling at me how to play music anymore. So I took all the stuff that I learned and joined a band in 9th grade, and just haven't looked back since.
Nice.
As you
One of
said.
y'all?
So I attempted
Hey, move
to
over.
be
A
in
little
band
bit.
back in elementary, but I wanted to play saxophone. Actually, that was like something
Really?
that I was.
I didn't know that.
Yep, I wanted to, but my parents were not going to pay for that, so
They
I
said, "You're
ended up
bad."
doing just doing chorus until like probably the same as Chandler, like 7th, 8th grade, and then I was just like, I don't really care for this, don't see the point, and I was
Can you
into,
imagine Fred
into
as a
sports and
sax
such.
player?
Honestly, yes.
You can see
And
Fred
then-
as a saxophone
He has the
player
swag
now.
for the saxophone player for sure.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, no, literally.
And then it was junior year of high school. I just got listening to some heavier music and more interesting and intricate guitar work stuff, and I was like, I want to play that. I hear that, and it just inspired me. And my parents ended up getting me a little crappy First Act guitar for my first guitar. I still have that thing, by the way. And they got that for me, I think, senior year for Christmas. So I didn't really, I started to noodle around a little bit, but I didn't really start playing until I got to college. And then, within the first 3 to 6 months in college, I had tons of time to practice. So I got fairly decent pretty quick because I had, 2, 3, 4 hours in between classes and stuff. So, and then I had my first, technically first band and first cover band, and wrote my first song within 2 years of playing. And that fell apart. Had this other band for a while before I bumped into Chad, and that also fell apart. Everybody was going different directions, and nobody really seemed to care. And then, here we are, basically. So
Some people
now
cared
we have
too
to fall
much.
apart.
Yeah, people cared too much, and he's not in that band anymore.
Yeah.
not about music.
But not about music. Yeah.
My whole story is basically just
Sad.
well, yeah, sure, but but no, I mean, I very much I had the luck to kind of grow up in a musical household. I mean, my dad was primarily the only real musical one in my family, except for when my brother came along. But I grew up going to church. I had a lovely lady there that helped lead the worship team that was showing me how to sing songs before I could read. So she'd just teach me the words to say and how I'm supposed to sing them and stuff. And I was 4 and I was all about this, right? And I just it followed me everywhere. I loved the expressiveness that came with singing. As I got a little bit older, went to middle school. I did chorus until 8th grade. I tried out and I got into all county jazz chorus, and I went to the first meeting there, and I was still trying to figure out who I was supposed to be as a singer. And I remember going to this auditorium, and they had this guy sitting down there who was super good at piano, and everybody was just freestyling and scatting and I thought it was really cool, but I felt super out of place because I was I don't understand what's happening here.
He didn't know which Chad he was yet.
Yeah, no. And I've got a firm memory of leaving that, and I remember telling my parents I don't think I want to do this anymore, and they were accepting of that. But I remember
I can't be Chad.
I can't do it. I can't be it. But I just remember driving back, and I'm just listening to the big rock hits at the time, the I Hate My Dad music of Linkin Park and 3 Days Grace and stuff like that, and being this is what I want.
I still like those bands.
No, me too, exactly. But it was just something where I wanted something different, and I didn't know how to get it, and I didn't have anybody around me and my peers that really had the same interest. For my buddy Cody, who kind of turned me on to heavier music, and we learned how to, we would practice metal screaming when we had some time to ourselves when our parents weren't home. We'd hang out and we'd just be yelling at each other, doing Escape the Fate covers and Our Last Night stuff. And
you guys sounded like the 2 kids on YouTube that blew up that did the sirens.
The King Fode cover. Yeah, I wish we sounded that good back then, because we definitely did not. But so it was a long journey with that. And I just kind of kept hammering on stuff, and it was something that I really wanted. I just didn't know how to pursue it. I had my hands on multiple instruments as I was growing up, because my dad played everything, right? So we had a little drum set, and I played around with that a little bit, and I had no idea what I was doing, and I had no concept of rhythm, so that didn't really work out terribly well. We had a
Give a thumbs up without even realizing.
Yeah.
Is that what happened?
We had my dad.
Story going.
Yeah, sure. My dad played guitar and bass. and sang. So we had guitars over the place, and I didn't really, I did a little bit with guitar, and like I liked it, but I couldn't figure it out. And it was just kind of a series of that. The only thing that really stuck was the singing, maybe a little bit of piano. I went to college. I went to college for a computer degree, and then I just crammed my major full of extra electives because I found out, I can just take a bunch of music courses. So I took guitar classes and piano classes and singing lessons, and it all helped with developing an understanding of this stuff. And I don't know. I've just always chased the singing of it because there's always something else I want to learn that's new, and I'm obsessed with it. I've gotten myself these days into vocal coaching now, so now I'm helping other people become obsessed with singing, which is great.
They just do it for you.
Right, exactly. I've blackmailed all the members of my band to sing on these songs with me, which is great. So, which in all seriousness, it is really exciting to be in a band full of singers because everybody has their own style and flair that they bring to it. Like we have, I lean more into this, like, I have roots in country music, but I lean a lot into like rock and new metal for a lot of my stuff, and like, some of the post-hardcore stuff. And Fred also grew up with that country rock, but he has a lot more of that like old school like metalcore approach. And you can definitely hear a lot of like country rock in his singing. Taylor's an R&B freak. This dude can walk up and hit runs all day long, and I just stare at him like, what is wrong with you? Why are you making me sound bad? Chandler has this like really awesome, very powerful, like almost like a pop punk approach to a lot of his stuff. So we have all these different like flavors and characters of voice that we can tap into, and it's just really exciting. And now I'm gonna stop because I'm gonna just talk about how much I appreciate these people. So.
Carrie said, "Where
Carrie,
are the
what up?
Scooby Doo outfits?"
Were you guys
what's
supposed to
funny, I
wear
was doing
Scooby Doo
laundry earlier.
outfits?
I was doing laundry earlier, and that long sleeve Fred outfit.
He came up again.
I was like, oh shit!
I have
found my windbreaker yesterday.
I have the wig upstairs. Yeah.
Funny.
No, that was
That was a great time, is what it was.
I just appreciate that every show that we played, we've entered this stage of like we make a very standout memory. So the last show we played was our own festival that we put on, and it was Scooby. It was Scooby Doo characters, baby.
That's
It was literally amazing.
It was whittling.
Unbelievable.
well, to go back to what you were saying about you guys all singing and bringing different styles into it, you can definitely hear it in your music. It's like very well-rounded, and you can hear the different influences in your song. So I think it makes it definitely stand out from other bands.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Can we pause for 2 seconds so I can remove some stuff around? Because I have half an ass cheek right now, and it's bothering me that I don't feel the other half. Chandler, get over here. Here, hold on. Let me see if I can just readjust this camera just a little bit so we can. Actually, you know what? That's a good point. I wonder if it would give me maybe more.
Now you're sideways.
No, now we're all sideways. I don't know what to do about
Hey,
it.
you're back to normal now.
Hold on. I'm trying to figure out a better spot for this so we can. Okay, wait. Move back. Get farther away.
There
Okay.
we go.
Stand over here and come up when it's my turn to speak.
Let's get just
Everybody just step forward.
room here. All right, Chan, here we go. Okay. It's just hot in here. I love you guys, but like, oh.
All right. Who are some of your biggest musical influences? And this could be individually, this could be for the band, just whatever.
Yes.
That's a long list.
I don't know much I could talk about. So many people.
There's so many that I feel like everybody's over this. So like we all have like some of our favorite artists, right? I feel like there's any musician really is going to have like their staple couple people or whatever. But I feel like as you progress in your music career and the older you get, the more experience you have, all that kind of stuff, I feel like it sort of changes a little bit over the years. Like, so I go through like these phases of like really, really being into like specific bands. And then next thing you know, you're like writing a song like that and you don't even realize it, or like you don't know why,
I think it's more of like favorites right now kind of thing than anything.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm just saying like over time, like it's, because she said individually or by, as a whole. So it's like, I think over the time, like everybody's sort of like, at least I do. I guess I speak for myself.
You might both be right, guys.
But
I think we all listen to all sorts of genres and artists. But like right now, I been listening to Hoobastank.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and the
No.
script.
This
What's
man,
that?
this
I
man
love
is
the script.
crawling
I
in
love
the
the
dark
script.
right now. Dude.
And more modern stuff is Bill Murray.
Yep.
Hell
Bill Murray's
yeah.
a big one for all of us right
Yeah.
now.
They killing it out there.
I'm on that Spirit Box kick.
I was gonna say Spirit
Spirit
Box
Box
too.
coming out
Oh,
with some new shit.
I've been listening to Sleep Token a lot too.
Worship.
I just repulled them.
He's been
recently.
worshiping.
He's been worshiping.
I've been worshiping.
I love worshiping.
I'm trying to look now because I'm.
See now I gotta
Now
think
I'm
who
looking.
I just listened to the other day too
I have to look
because
at my phone because it just changes daily.
I-
Depends
I-
on the mood.
I always.
isn't that interesting?
I always
Musicians
find
can't remember
myself-
what the hell they listen to ever.
Oh, Billie
That's-
Eilish too.
Oh, Billie
Eilish
Eilish record is
is
pretty
cool.
good.
The
That's
new
actually
Sabrina
solid.
Carpenter is really dope.
I haven't listened to it.
Espresso, baby.
Espresso, dude.
I listened to that whole record actually
Yeah,
recently.
It's really good. It's good, but also it's the horniest record I've heard in a minute.
Oh my god, yeah.
Beats
I-
Deftones.
No, for
Beats
real though,
Deftones.
dude. That
I can't even look at what I was listening to recently because we're on my phone right now. So there's
Been,
music though. It's music.
Last couple weeks has definitely been back into some rap, the more underground style like NF, Hobson,
I like rap.
Hobson's got some.
that kind of
Actually, I
realm.
might find him on this.
But
I'm a Kendrick boy.
you do
I
be
pulled up a
listening to
Snow Patrol song the other day to try to learn it on guitar, and I don't play guitar.
It was chasing cars, wasn't it?
It was Chasing
It was
Cars.
chasing cars.
Somebody played that as a cover on TikTok, and he did it so good that I was like, "Yo, I forgot all about how good that song
I
is."
can do this.
And I was like, "I was like, yo, I have the power."
I feel like I'm going back to my Broadway era because now everyone's talking about Wicked coming to theaters, and I'm like, oh
They're
god.
coming on
yeah.
Friday.
Oh,
Yep. Excited to see that. Those are all awesome influences. Is there anybody, well, I mean, you mentioned Sabrina Carpenter and Billie Eilish, so maybe not, but is there anyone on your playlist that might surprise people?
Ooh.
I-
Let me think about that.
Um,
Like,
Tyler the Creator.
Yo, he bumps though. He's got like,
I listen to him every once in a while.
He's got some
Jake
stuff.
Hill. Jake Hill, yeah.
Jake Hill's tight.
Um,
I got some horrorcore stuff like Grim Salvo and like fucking Corpse. So I guess like
oh yeah.
I mean, probably you mentioned the Broadway thing, but the pretty much the full album of what the hell is it with Ben Platt? I'm drawing a blank right now.
are you talking about Dear Evan Hansen?
Yeah, Dear Evan Hansen.
Because
Like,
he also has some solo stuff.
yeah, well, solo stuff is okay, but
It's a pretty thing.
I'm a big classical fan, honestly, and there's a lot of like random Mozart and Beethoven that'll pop up every once in a while. It's not like a regular, repetition anymore, but I definitely, yo, Furley's is my shit now.
Bump it.
No.
That slaps.
That's wild.
No, We're very much a group.
No, we
that is
listen
like,
to a lot of stuff.
as long as it's musically good, which
Yeah.
is subjective, but is also like it's not.
it
Well,
also
dog, you don't
makes
think half the
sense.
music I like
Yeah.
is good, so
I mean, your taste can be bad, but it's okay. We still love you.
I'm surrounded by invalids.
Yeah.
Your opinion's wrong, but that's fine.
That's a good thing, though, because it gives you different influences to, go off of. So,
There's a new spirit.
who would your dream collaboration be with?
Dream collaboration?
Oh God.
Oh man, I would kill to be with Tesseract.
Oh,
Right
that's
off
a good
the bat,
shout.
Tesseract. I
Bill
want
Murray, dude.
No, honestly, yo,
If I get
Bill Murray
Bill-
would be a
Bill
solid
Murray
choice
would be
because, like,
Oh,
I mean, if you look at any of the big name metal bands right now, I mean, those are all up there. Any of those would be really, really tight. We
You know who would be dope?
Shrek.
Doing a collab. Doing a collab with Tech Nine.
Tech Nine.
Oh.
Ed Sheeran, I think.
Oh yeah,
Honestly,
Sheeran would be.
I would love to sit down and just pick that man's brain apart.
Like,
Yeah, The Rock, dude. He does music.
Oh my god.
It's about drive. It's about power.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of.
We stay hungry. We devour. It's the mantra.
God.
leave
Go to jail.
me now.
Damn. Yeah. I mean,
My
you think
my
I feel like Beartooth or like Bring Me the Horizon.
Bring Me the Horizon.
Horizon record is so good.
The new one?
That new
That
one
is
is
awesome.
so good, and
Yeah.
I listen to it on repeat. Like, now I have to listen to it again because I just remembered it all over.
That's how I am too. I'll like
I can't-
listen to something so many times and then I forget about it and then I think about it again. I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to listen to that.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Christmas again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's like
Wait, what about you though? So
problem.
what's your artist of choice then?
My artist of choice. Well, since Carrie's in the chat and one of our favorite bands is Wage War, so I'm gonna go with that.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
Wage War is
that's
cool
hard,
live.
dude.
We definitely like them.
We definitely have some Wage War influence.
The
I'd
older
say.
stuff. Though.
Yeah. They're so good though. So like they're one of those bands that, even though they change their sound, like everything they do sounds amazing. Like I can listen to their older stuff, I can listen to their newer stuff, and still just jam it all day long.
It's that Manic record for me. They went crazy on that thing.
So good.
Make them suffer with
Carrie said do a cover of Ed Sheeran's Thinking Out Loud.
Oh, easy.
You got it.
Yeah,
That's
that's an easy
that's
one. We can do
easy.
that, no problem.
Right now.
Right.
We'll do it live in
You
studio.
like so.
Do it. Do it.
When you like
When you like so
work before.
in the Boston accent.
Oh my.
What?
Remix. I can't spit you off your fucking feet.
Oh my god.
Hell yeah. All right, what is your creative process like when you're making new music?
Saw him.
I write a lot until I get mad and have to go to bed. And then tomorrow I'll be like, oh, this was kind of good.
Yeah. Some of this is okay. I hate myself though.
We have a very weird approach to it, I feel like, because we definitely all of us go in waves of being yay music, and then being oh,
I'm giving
I'm
up.
tired.
I'm
I
I'm
don't
quitting.
think I was meant
I'm
for
quitting.
this.
Why does this suck
But,
so much?
we'll take Stasis for example, right? So our newest single that came out last year, probably before last year now. It's been a while, but that single, we actually all sort of so Chandler and I kind of wrote the basis of that, the bones of it, if you will, and then we all sort of brought it to life together. One of the biggest things in that song for us was literally trying to figure out what our chorus was actually going to be.
That was so
And
fun,
we didn't, none of us, we all had some ideas. Nobody really liked the other person's, or we didn't agree on this or that, or or each other, or whatever it happened. Yeah, or we didn't like any, none of us liked each other, so it was really hard to write a song.
Do we like each other enough to make music?
And
That song was the defining.
yeah, it was. And it basically came down to Chad, I think Chad suggested the idea. It was okay, everybody, because we all were throwing ideas about what we thought was gonna be good. He goes, all right, everybody's going in the vocal booth at one, everybody take a turn in the vocal booth. We're all gonna figure out what the melody's gonna be, and then literally all four of us did different things, and we just combined whatever the best ones were, and that's how the Stasis chorus was made.
Well, there was
Essentially.
there was cool moments with that too, where I can be a little bit protective over some of the lyrics that I write, just because I very much put a lot of heart and a lot of I talk a lot about a lot of personal stuff, albeit through the lens of metaphor when I'm writing stuff. So I had a line specifically that I did not want to lose. I was like, we can do whatever we want with this, but I want this one specific line to stay here. And by the end of the workshop of us going through that chorus, it didn't fit anymore. And I was like, you know what? No, it doesn't even matter anymore. And it's cool, and it's kind of scary to be in a place now where I can just trust people to draw out the vision that I might have for something and actually make it better than what I had conceived of initially, right? So it can take a lot of trust to put a very vulnerable message out, but I feel comfortable that if I bring an idea to these guys, that not only is my voice heard with it, but whatever comes out is going to be something that I'm going to sit there and cry about it, because it's better than even I thought about it being, and it still hits home the way it's supposed to.
Yeah. No, it's good to be open to that too, because I know I spoke to another band called Spirits a few weeks ago, and they were talking about how they'll send each other stuff back and forth, and they'll be like, okay, well, this is good, but it could be better. And, you know, some musicians would be like so offended, but, you know, it's good to have that open mind. Like somebody else might hear what you can't. So, you know,
Yeah.
feed off each other.
Absolutely.
We've all individually worked with other in previous projects and stuff with people like that, and that was kind of like our first collective commiseration was, wow, so you didn't get to really have a voice in that other project, huh?
Weird.
That kind of sucks. Like, let's
Yeah.
not do that here.
I'd say that's one of the most important things that, like, at least that I've strived to put forward, and like that I've talked to everybody individually on here, is that like I don't want this, like I might have been like one of the original founders of it, but I don't want this to be, oh, it's my band just because I was there when it started. Like,
yeah, we've already dealt with that. That's why we're here now.
right, yeah, well, that's the thing, all right. Like it's because I
I
respect
do vocals in this band.
Yeah.
you already do.
It's my band.
But it's it's our band. Where's that now? Where's the...
But it's mine.
No, that's true. But no, so it's something where you know, it's very. I love these people very much, and I want
We
to
have a different kind of relationship here.
usually. But no, like, you know, so it's just something where I want this to be our project. I don't really care that I was here when it started. Like, if I feel that grabby hands about it, I've got a solo project that I'll just go and dump whatever into if I don't want feedback on something, like, you know. But like when we're here and we're working on this project, this is supposed to be a collective of all of our ideas and all of our thoughts, experiences, and feelings.
Yeah, awesome. You mentioned the last single coming out a long time ago. So are you getting ready to release anything new anytime soon?
We
Yeah.
are.
Maybe.
Well, I mean, maybe.
Maybe.
Stay tuned.
Maybe.
You want to play a clip of it live on air?
If we,
Oh, sounds great.
is it? I don't know if.
Well, you can just go to the desktop. It should be an updated like.
Well, hold on. You might get a snippet here if we.
It'll probably sound like garbage.
If it'll load, it's probably not going to sound great over the phone, but.
We have it, so it's the instrumental portion of it is more or less done. We've got to iron out the
We've got a few
vocals.
things to play with, but we haven't done final takes of the vocals yet. That's pretty much really all
Yeah,
we need.
We've done kind of a
All the way to the
similar
top.
thing here where, like, from a chorus
Switch
perspective, we just
Yeah.
weren't happy with the hook, so
Mhm.
we had another night of everybody get in the booth and try some stuff.
There you go.
Light it up.
Sit down.
Yep.
What do you got? Oh, she's rich.
I'll say she is on the speaker. Let me move this then in that case. All right, everybody shush. Let's hear. Oh, this actually. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
I mean, this is the October. I don't think those vocals on. That's all right.
Is it? Oh.
That's what you got.
That sounds really good.
You can hear that or not very well,
Yeah.
but that's
No, I could hear it for sure. It sounds really good. Definitely something to look forward to. So
big things coming soon.
You know,
No
coming soon. Once you get the vocals all down.
I gotta go. For saying that, I'm disowned.
Is there a song that you guys created that means the most to you, and why?
Faces. that would be Chad poured his heart and soul into that one, and that was it's hard for him,
our
but-
first group song.
But that was that was
together.
technically our first official song,
That
all
was-
as a band.
That was the rebirth, I would say, for all of us.
Yeah.
And coming together to like really understand how each person sort of operates, like the very beginning stages of it. So it's kind of like the butterfly coming out of the cocoon.
Yeah, I
Oh,
feel like we all kind of went through different things in our lives leading up to that point too. So even better reason to have that song be the one that, you know, kind of made it happen
yeah.
for everybody.
It's an awesome song too. So
Thank you.
Yeah.
We appreciate it.
I know you mentioned not being able to play a couple shows because of COVID. Have you guys played shows together since then?
Oh yeah, definitely. We
Got one coming up too.
I was gonna say we got one coming up
Friday, 12/6,
Yeah.
with Dread Engine, Cat Spa.
Caspo.
No, it's Cat Spa is how they say it.
Is it really?
It
I
is.
always thought it was Cats.
I thought
It is indeed.
I thought it was an O on the page.
Gonna have to
Yeah,
shout out
it
those
is, but
guys
there's
because I don't
no-
know.
Yo, shout out to my boys, Cats.
There's a little sideways comment on top of it. Cats. Yeah, just let that break.
Fonts.
Yeah,
Okay, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
and
Yeah, actually, Dread Engine just messaged me about doing an interview.
Oh, yeah.
I think in a couple weeks. So,
we just
but yeah,
been on our
It's an easy
music
guy.
festival at Hollowfest this last year. That's where we kind of like
Is
made
it?
friends with them and stuff. So there was a lot of cool bands we made friends with this year for doing that stuff. So
You might be right.
very
I'm looking.
cool. Well, if anybody's in the area, go check out the show, December 6th.
Photo City.
Photo City Music Hall, Rochester, New York.
What is the funniest or craziest thing that's ever
Grizzly
happened at a show?
The funniest or craziest
Oh,
thing
that's
that's ever
so
happened at a show.
hard to answer this, Ben.
The spaghetti was pretty.
Spaghetti was good.
I think that one's pretty
Spaghetti-
high up there in my
The
opinion.
spaghetti.
All right, who's telling the spaghetti story?
It was a pinata. Right?
It was we had 3 pinatas and one of them had spaghetti and it was the last.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
Only
So-
one of us
so
knew
that are-
Spaghetti and a pinata.
Yeah, it was spaghetti and a pinata. So we do a festival, a music festival called Hollowfest. We just got done with our 3rd year. It happens at the very end of September. That's kind of like our pre-Halloween for the
Mhm.
music scene in the Central New York area. And last year, so our old bass player actually and his wife now, dressed up in these big blow up.
One was a
Was
shark.
it
What was an
fall?
axolotl?
Oh yeah, that's right. Shark and an axolotl. Yeah, that's true. And Chad had a big blow up Fall Guys outfit on.
Did.
And so the bass player Keenan brought some pinatas, just to throw some candy, like whatever. I had no idea. I don't think half of us. Were you the only one who actually knew what was in it?
He sure was.
So the thing was,
Because I didn't know anything.
I knew there was going to be pinatas. I didn't know what was going to be in them other than one of them was going to have merch in it.
yeah. So we had a merch pinata, a candy pinata, and then we had a spaghetti pinata.
It was
And
a surprise pinata.
the spaghetti
It was a
pinata, like so he.
Oh my god.
The whole thing with the pinatas in general was Keenan's. It was Keenan's initial idea back when we were making the rounds, playing a lot, opening up for bands in Syracuse, and we for one of the breakdowns on one of the shows, we had some like old leftover merch that like it was okay, but it wasn't. We hold a pretty high standard for the quality of merch that we sell. We don't want someone to buy a shirt that's got like screwed up print on it or like that's not comfortable. But we had like some leftover duds essentially. We're like, well, we don't want to sell these, but but it might be weird just to give them away. How can we turn giving this away into a spectacle? So he was like, well, what about pinatas? So that was our way of kind of making a whole show about it. So we just we had our song More in the Moment, which has this really big build up before a breakdown. So he came into the venue with this pinata pre-stuffed, and I whipped that thing out into the pit during a breakdown, and it tore it apart. And people loved it, and I got a really good reception. So we just keep bringing that back when we play like big shows.
We're not bringing spaghetti back though. The pinatas I'm talking about.
the spaghetti.
Because
There's one time.
That's
By the way.
a one and done. And wait, by the way, what?
By the way, that spaghetti was unsauced, just so that's clear, because that would have been a nightmare.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, we
We had to clean it up afterwards, and it wasn't fun to do that. I mean, the very end of my set, I had somebody threw a pile of spaghetti from out in the crowd landed right on the top of my snare drum on my drum set, right at the end of the song, and I'm like, who the fuck threw spaghetti, man?
I
Like,
think that.
to you?
Yeah. So Dempsey.
Because I couldn't see anything.
Dempsey told me after that he threw like a handful of spaghetti at me while I was playing.
See, that
No
sounds like
shot,
something.
dude.
And I was like, what the fuck? And then I threw it like
it landed right on my drum set, and I was like, who threw spaghetti? Because
So-
I couldn't even see what was going on with all the fog and the lights and stuff.
It turned into a bit of a perfect storm. I told him because so he like I mentioned, he left while we were coming out of the recovery for COVID. He was trying to put more focus on his family, and he primarily was in it for the live shows to begin with. So it was just kind of like a mutual amicable split. So we were talking, and I was like, I feel bad that you never got like your party that you wanted to have, because we planned this big EP release show that ended up getting canceled, and he was like talking to people about getting confetti cannons, doing all this stuff, and I was like, I want you to still have that party because you never got to have it.
Mm-hmm.
So like we had like a little exchange. He was like, oh, let's bring in multiple pinatas, and we're gonna do these inflatable suits and stuff, and like I'm gonna put spaghetti in the pinata, and I was like, haha, yeah, you're gonna put spaghetti in the pinata, and then like you know, me thinking, oh, that's what a dumb joke. And then a couple months later, he's still making references about it to me unprompted. And I got to a point where I was like, I can no longer tell if this is a joke. And I'm concerned, but I don't even fully want to know. Just if you're going to do it, don't put sauce on it because we have to clean it up. That's all I'm going to ask. And he said, don't worry about it. We won't do that. And that was pretty much where that conversation ended until the day of the show. And we're all loading in. We're walking in all the stuff. And he's walking in with the pinatas, and he grabs the third one, and he walks over to me and he goes, just feel this. And it's just like 6 pounds heavier than the other pinatas. And I'm like, oh, my. And,
So gross.
well, dude, it got even worse because, so we played with we brought our friends in the Fallen Prodigy down, and we have we've got our song Sycophants that we have a full feature on with their singer, one of my best friends, Jay. And she comes out. And she was the one who threw the spaghetti pinata in the crowd. She didn't know what it was either. She picked it up and was like, yo, this is heavy as fuck. I'm going to hurt somebody. So she like had to like walk towards the crowd a little bit and like did like
Set it in there.
kind of did like a light toss sort of a thing. People ripped that shit open and like everybody was confused and in a panic and like it literally turned into a food fight.
No, it was wild.
Like,
there was spaghetti
everywhere.
This is at Sharky's in Liverpool, and at the end of the night, as we're going through, like, just laughing about all of this stuff still.
Oh,
I played
We're
that
picking
show
things
without
up.
any shoes on.
See that there's spaghetti literally on the heater up on the in the
Oh
rack.
my
the
Like somebody
rafters, dude.
heated it up into the rafter. And then 3 months later, I'm at the gym and I happen to have the same shoes on that day that I had, you know, at the show. And I'm like, I'm just stretching to get warmed up or whatever. And I look at I see the bottom of my shoe and I was like, is that fucking spaghetti still in my, how?
It
How?
never left us. It's been a part of us ever since.
Wow.
And then I just started cackling. Looked like a crazy person.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
definitely a first.
Wild.
Yeah, there was that.
The moral of the story is we try to make every show that we play an experience, because you go out and see bands, oh cool, it's 4 dudes in playing a guitar or something.
Mm-hmm.
Who cares? That's boring. Like, we're trying to put on a great performance, trying to leave you with some kind of memory that you're going to be like, you remember that show with the spaghetti?
Well, I mean,
What band was that?
Well, I mean, the last show, you know, Taylor and I made out in the middle of the set.
No,
So
we didn't make out.
it was hot and heavy.
It was after the show, though.
It was-
But during the show. No.
Everybody remembers.
Oh
it.
my god. No, there was that we had a
I
moment,
remember
and
the-
it got, and that
How it made
that
me
one
feel.
split second that had happened, someone close to us managed to get a picture of that exact moment, and I don't know how it's even possible because it was like the quickest little kiss, and it was just
It
like
didn't look like a quick
it was
one.
the funniest thing,
Those
dude.
lips were locked in there, dude.
It was well, the picture makes it look like we're kissing forever, so you know now that's on our grave.
You are now.
Yeah, when Chad came up behind me, I was like singing part of
Adrift, probably.
Adrift. Yeah, I think was the beginning of Adrift, and Chad was behind me with like his hands on like my shoulders or something, and so I did one of these and leaned back, and he kissed me, and then we got this like little fucking picture of just that one moment, and I'm like, oh my god,
Yeah.
so it was pretty funny.
We had that. We did a St. Patrick's show where we all did
St.
drink
Patrick's
characters.
Day, that was a good one too.
We had Fred as a pickle, and then we had Chandler as Kermit the Frog.
He was a Kermit the Frog meme. That was pretty good.
And then we were Shrek and Fiona. We had neon green body paint that we put all over ourselves, and then it melted into our eyes after like the first song.
Got all over the clothes that we had. You know, I still have that Fiona dress.
I
in the
still
crown
have
of my
the
house.
We gotta do something for Christmas.
We do.
Oh, I bust the elf shorts out.
Oh, dude, yeah, Christmas time, baby.
elf shorts.
I don't know. We've had a lot of random shenanigans, as you can see. I mean, I think the spaghetti one's definitely one of our top stories for sure.
Yeah.
Because that was just too funny and random. I never seen that at a show that I even been to before. So.
No, never.
No spaghetti? I don't know. Have you ever been to a show where you saw spaghetti get
No.
served? Pinata, nonetheless, not just spaghetti, you know. Luckily, there's no meatballs. I don't.
Yeah,
Nope.
I think
no
he
meatballs.
That
made
would
all the
be bad.
meatballs.
All right, well, your shows definitely sound like an experience, so hopefully I can come to one sometime. I'm in New Mexico, so I'd have to,
Oh, no shit.
travel, but
Or we travel to
Or
you.
you just get us out there and we'll make it happen.
okay, we'll make it happen. What is your favorite song to perform live?
Oh,
Stasis is pretty good.
Stasis is really
I-
fun
we
to
can't
play. I
answer
can't keep
Stasis
referencing
forever.
Stasis though.
I know,
I want to
I know.
say
I don't know. That new one's pretty hot.
We played it once.
we
I
only
know.
played the new song one time, and that
Not
was
that anybody else
really
knows.
fun too. But I feel like out of the old stuff, I really enjoy Premonitions myself. Premonitions is for sure one of my most like fun songs to play. I think because I just really like. I don't know. I get into it really hard, and I think it is pretty straightforward. It's very driving. Like you keep that momentum going the whole time.
Harmony.
And it's like
chord.
there's
Harmony's always
Harmony's
fun.
is a fun one to play too.
I really like Sycophants.
I mean, I
part-
also love that just because it's got just
In part, it's just the way that
simple.
it's not even that. It's not even that. It's less so that like I myself am like this is the song. It's that I don't think we've played a show where we've played that in front of people that don't know us and people don't immediately just like latch onto it. Like it's that
That's fair.
that energy
It's
from
the
the people
quick grab
watching us
one.
that are like, oh, but like outside of that, I really fuck with Vertigo. Honestly,
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Vertigo. Like it's just big vibes all the way through that thing.
I think it's a drift for me because
Mm-hmm.
that was the first.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first song
That's a good one too.
where we had some like the crowd was singing back to us so loud that
I
like
remember that.
it shook me. Like I had like the hair on
Yeah,
the back
dude.
of my neck stood up. I was like,
Sometimes it's hard not to
This is
cry
it.
on
and it
stage
was
when
small,
shit like that
it was small,
happens.
but, like, that one definitely gets me.
I just try.
Yeah.
It's the emotions,
For real.
man. They're in all of us.
Yeah.
We're all emotional people here.
Adrift is cool too, just because there's so much vocal involvement from
Yeah.
everybody. Like
Yeah, the
that's-
dynamics of that building up, especially live, like that just gives you a different feeling than the typical. Oh my god, this is heavy and rocking and whatever.
I think part of it for me too was that like I make the joke a lot, but I genuinely have become fans of everybody in this band. So like Adrift is cool for me personally because like I get to like be more of like a backup or bystander and like watch you guys get it for the time of that song going through, and it's just that's big for me. Like it's cool for me to sit back and like hear Taylor like rip this up or like hear you like do like the B lines on the stuff. Like it's just I'm big into it.
Yeah.
It's
The
big
full
vibes.
vision. Yeah, we all have a different answer for you. Obviously, there's a lot going on all the time here.
The answer is yes.
No, I would expect a different answer from everybody. So
Absolutely.
awesome. What advice would you give your younger self?
Don't care so much.
Mm-hmm.
Like just let shit go
Yeah.
Mhm.
entirely. Like I don't know how much time I've wasted trying to perfect something that I've written when it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And it never did, and it never will.
Yep.
Because everybody's there's a market for everything.
Yep.
And if you kind of just like throw things out and just somebody will grab it, like somebody will like it.
That's true.
But I don't know. I guess I would just say not to think too hard about what you're doing.
Yeah, don't overthink it.
No.
The overthinking is a big thing with all of us, I think. Right?
Yeah.
You got it. You got it. You think it's like, yeah, and you're like,
I think.
I'd say it's don't be afraid to
well,
know
I
when to
think-
call it quits,
Mm.
and specifically with various relationships or people or whether it's a job, it's a band, whatever it is. And that's not to say don't give your all for things, but at a certain point you have to recognize like where people are diverging and you and another person in a relationship or whatever that is, and being able to just recognize it and make peace with it.
Stand up for yourself. That's what I would have said to myself a
Yeah.
long time ago. I think a lot of things that have happened, you kind of go through and you you know, in one way, you can't say you regret anything, right? Because at one point in your life, you wanted it like that. So I look at it as, you know, just having done a little bit more in different times for where I am now. I'm still happy with where I am now, but there's definitely some things I wish I did a little bit better that would have helped me if I just like had that mentality of like, just do it, man. Like, just go for it. Like, be your own person.
I think for me it would just be to learn how to set boundaries. Honestly, you know, kind of like it's kind of like
What's a boundary?
Yeah, well, it's kind of echoes like what everybody said. You know, it's with both with yourself and with others. Like understanding that, like, you know, you don't have to people please everybody. You don't need to hold yourself to critical, like, demoralizing standards. Like, it's like you can let. Oh, I'm talking about all of it. But no, like, you know, it's just. I guess the big thing I've learned is that, like, you want to be in a position where you're working with people because you want to, not because you feel like you need to.
Or because it's the only opportunity that you
Yeah.
have, or you're the only thing that you're going to get. Like, other opportunities will come up.
Take the risk.
Yeah.
Take the risk. That's a good
Risk
one,
it to get the
actually.
biscuit.
Not.
There you go.
Know when to not risk it though, also, because
This is great advice. You have to risk.
And when to definitely overthink it.
You have to risk it, but then know when to not risk it, but don't overthink it.
It's all
Just
about
think
finding
enough.
that balance, you know?
But think about the balance.
It's a
that
conglomerate
you wanna
effort,
have.
as you can
And
say.
think long and hard about it.
And then be aggressive with the balance.
Be aggressive. Yeah, there you go. Be aggressive.
We're all just collectively our own idiot and a group of idiots. And we have a good time. Like, we don't take ourselves too seriously, but we also do take things seriously when it comes to, like, our business stuff. So
Yeah, no, that's good, and I can definitely tell you guys are a lot of fun. So, and this interview has been a lot of fun. Do you want to tell everyone how they can follow you and support you?
Don't. No, I'm just kidding. No. Rewind. No. What was that he said? He said, I guess, yeah.
we're on everything. Facebook, it's A Greater Danger Band, I believe. Obviously Spotify, that's the king for a lot of people. We're Apple Music. Instagram. We're on TikTok. There's some goofy.
We have
fun
some
videos on
YouTube.
there.
We have music videos on YouTube.
Yeah, there's like five music videos.
There's like 5 or 6.
Wherever you consume your music content, we are there under a greater danger.
Wherever you look for us, we're gonna be there.
Okay, awesome. Well, this was so much fun. I cannot wait for the new music and cannot wait to see you guys live sometime.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, John. Appreciate you.
Of course. You guys have a good rest of your night. Bye, guys.